welcome to Season 3 of the Gamecocks Dynasty as we open up against the Mississippi State Bulldogs in an SEC matchup that we have now played for the second year in a row, and we will be hoping to continue our win streak against the Bulldogs. As you can see, two new teams have joined the SEC's ranks this season, and Texas joining the western side as they side with Texas A&M, and the eastern side of the division gets Oklahoma, which just spices things up a little bit. Obviously, the Big 12 is a little bit weaker than they used to be now, but it is what it is. The SEC is where we play, and that's where we will be staying as our freshman punter, Thomas Mayhew, looks to get things underway here at the beginning of Season 3. He's going to boot this one away, and we will see the defense on the field first as Mosley's going to return this one out of the end zone for the Bulldogs. He's going to break a tackle, finally tripped up by Justin Birdsong and a couple of guys, but they're going to call a penalty on the Bulldogs. A clipping will send them back pretty far now. 2nd and 4 is where we pick up. This offense has had its struggles, and they will try to answer what last year started as a promising season but ended very disappointingly. And now the Bulldogs hope to bounce back this year as they have Sawyer Robertson leading them down the field as that first pass is dropped by Harmon. They were going to go 3 and out on their opening drive, and Braden Davis gets his first shot to start as the Gamecocks quarterback. Obviously, a little bit of controversy here as Colton Gautier is the same overall, but we went ahead and went with Braden Davis. He was a little more athletic, and I have faith that he will be able to produce the results that we need to win games, at least for this season. And on a 3rd and 4, he's going to connect on his first pass of the day. That is a 9-yard catch by Landon Sampson, who is expected to play a much bigger role. But Braden Davis starting early with his athleticism. He's going to take off the right side, and he's got 19. And that is a beautiful run by Davis. Very good pocket awareness for a guy that has not had a lot of playing time in real minutes, but now we get to see what he can do. Now 1st and goal. Davis out of the shotgun. He's going to throw it this time to the end zone. Touchdown. Sophomore tight end Scott Hall, 7 yards out. And he is going to make a nice move inside and grab that one out of the air. Hopefully the connection can grow there because Hall is one of the only talented tight ends we have on the roster. But Simeon Price is going to pick up where the Bulldogs couldn't do last possession as he rumbles down the field for 24 yards. Robertson will have an easy day if the running back can continue to do that. But on 1st and 10, Sawyer's going to go down. Rory Patrick, the young defensive lineman, getting some playing time this year after the seniors left, and that is a big sack, setting up 3rd and 16. Could have been intercepted. His receiver came down to it, and instead Keenan Nelson was too busy deflecting it away. And just like that, the Gamecocks are going to get the ball back as Marshawn Lloyd rumbles over somebody. He comes back for his senior year. He's got 12 yards on the ground there. Now 1st and 10, Braden Davis out of the shotgun. It's going to be a nice quick pass to Brandon Robinson on the outside. He is going to get upended, but not after 12 yards on that one. Now 3rd and 7, Davis out of the shotgun. It's going to go to Marshawn Lloyd. Marshawn's going to try and spin out of it. 2-yard run there, but they're on the Bulldog side of the field. They decide to punt it away here. About a minute and a half remains as Robertson and company will get the ball back. This time he's going to go to Price again. Stutters in the backfield, and he is not going to get anywhere close to the line of scrimmage. He is going to maybe lose a yard there. Now 3rd and 10 as this offense continues to struggle. Robertson just looking for a first down as he sells it in between about 3 Gamecock defenders, and they are going to go 3 and out once again. So we will find the Gamecocks at a 2nd and 3 play action. Davis wants to launch deep downfield. Underthrows it. Could have been picked off by DeCarlos Nicholson. He just dropped that one right between his hands, and now they find themselves on a 3rd and 3 again. They have found themselves in this position numerous times, but Marshawn Lloyd uses that patented spin move to get himself a good amount of space there and get the first down. Now 1st and 10, Davis calling audibles. He's going to throw it, but it's behind Rucker, who bounces off the first man, and he is brought down, but he is pushed forward. That'll be another first down for the Gamecocks. That's an 11-yard gain. Now 1st and 10 later on that same drive. Braden Davis in the red zone wants to go to the end zone. Corey Ellington read that one perfectly, but he dropped the interception. 3rd and 6 now for the Gamecocks. Davis rolling on the play action, firing to the end zone. He had Rucker wide open, but instead a field goal is what would happen. 10-0 for the Gamecocks. As we find the Bulldogs again on offense, Robertson's going to keep it himself. He should have pitched it. He loses 3, and once again, I mean, a 3rd and long. How many times have we seen this in the first half? Robertson, play action to Price. Price is going to get a lot of space on the left side, cuts it inside. He is off to the races across the 40 to the 30. Emery Floyd jumps at the ankles, can't bring him down, and they've pushed him down and finally wrestle him down right around the 1-yard line for the Bulldogs. What a run by Simeon Price, and Robertson on 1st and goal wants to throw to the air, and Rufus Harvey is going to settle the game. 1-yard touchdown for Robertson, and just like that, it's a 7-10 ball game. The Bulldogs are right back in it, in their opinion. Brandon Robinson looking to get a little bit of space on the jet sweep. He gets sandwiched rather quickly. They find themselves on a 2nd and 10. Braden Davis is going to go to Marshawn Lloyd on the inside zone. Another lackluster run blocking set by the offensive line. A young group and not a very talented group. They are going to have to grow for this team to be successful. 3rd and 13. Braden Davis wants to launch deep down the left field. In between the defenders, Rucker comes down with it. The safety got lost, and Corey Rucker comes back to the ball. And the Gamecocks set themselves up in the red zone on a 2nd and 12. Davis finds Scott Hall again as he rumbles into the end zone. He caught it at about the 5, and he just pushes past the defenders and walks into the end zone, or I should say trips into the end zone. And that is the 2nd receiving touchdown for the sophomore tight end. He has proved already to be an efficient part of this offense. 17-7. That was the final score of last year's game. Both of these offenses much improved, and just like that, the Bulldogs into the open field goes Thomas, and a touchdown for Ra Thomas. 48 yards. I was not expecting that. He was right down the middle as Braden Davis goes down. A little bit of a glitchy skip right there, but 3rd and 13 now for the Gamecocks. They are in danger of going into halftime and giving the Bulldogs a chance to get this lead before halftime. Davis is going to roll out to his right. He tries to sling it back across his body. He gets deflected down, and the Bulldogs would get the ball back, but nothing would happen with that. So we head into halftime 17-14 as your 10th-ranked Gamecocks have made some mistakes, but they have also capitalized on some very, very good plays. So they are in a decent position, in my opinion, right now as they get the ball back to start the second half. They need to capitalize on that because the Bulldogs do have an opportunity to come back in this game and take the lead if the Gamecocks don't do anything here, but we will find them on a 2nd and 5. Davis is going to fire to the curl route, and another dropped interception. That one was Hunter Washington, a 3rd defender to drop an interception today. Now on 3rd and 5, Davis should get spun down. 7-yard loss. He really didn't even have time to look down the field, and the Bulldogs would get excellent field position here, already in the red zone almost on 1st and 10. Simeon Price is going to get it as he cuts it back up the middle off of the right handoff. It's a 9-yard gain for the running back. Now 2nd and 1 for the Bulldogs. They have a very, very good opportunity here. Price is going to get it again on the zone, and he has got the first down and then some. He's got about 7 on the ground. Gilbert Edmond and company bring him down, and now Robertson's going to give it to Price, who cuts back up the middle. 7-yard touchdown run for the running back there for the Bulldogs, and he is going to celebrate in the end zone as they take their first lead of the day. 21-17. Braden Davis now 1st and 10, looking to answer as he fires, and Brandon Robinson wide open, but he has to dive for that one, and now they find themselves at a 3rd and 7. Davis is going to run with the play action, so he wants to throw it as he rolls out of the pocket, wants to take it himself, cuts inside, he fumbles it. It's picked up by Corey Rucker. That was a dangerous play by Braden Davis as he fumbled that one to the ground, but thankfully Corey Rucker was right there on the spot. Now 1st and 10, DJ Long, the freshman receiver, the true freshman with a 14-yard catch, his first of the day. 2nd and 7 now. Braden Davis is going to go to Carroll. He's going to get hit, and it flips up, and it's picked off by Mosley. Mosley coming across the 30 to the 40 and the 50. He has no one near him, and the Bulldogs get a pick 6 on a very crazy interception. Lavosa Carroll has it in his hands, gets hit on the play, and he just lets go of it. It flips through the air, and just like that, they are going to get another interception here on the 2nd possession in a row. 1st and 10. Braden Davis never saw him, And the third interception of the day. You guys didn't see the first one. It was right before halftime. He was just heaving it on the Hail Mary, but Sawyer Robertson makes him regret this one. It is another touchdown off of an interception. This one just takes a couple seconds longer as the offense gets on the field. And they are going to capitalize on that play. 2nd and 2, Braden Davis firing to Carroll again. And he holds on to this one and gets pulled down by the face mask. So a mistake there gives the Gamecocks an extra 15 yards. Now 1st and 10, about a minute 30, a little more than counting. Braden Davis out of the shotgun. It's going to be a play action where he wants to fire to Robinson, who toe taps on the sidelines. He's got a first down. 2nd and 15 now. Braden Davis out of the shotgun. He's going to take the snap. Nobody under the center, so he's going to throw it to Robinson, who just can't hold on. 30 pass attempts for Braden Davis already. And we are not even into the 4th quarter. Now 3rd and 15. Carroll is going to sit to his right. This one is a play action. Davis fires to the open man, DJ Long, who spins, but he can't quite get the first down. He gets 14 of 15 needed yards. And now on a 3rd and 4th and 1, Lavosa Carroll is going to get it as Marshawn Lloyd. Haven't seen him in a while. He was recently in the injury tent. It's looking like he's going to miss the rest of the day as we head into the 4th quarter on a 2nd and 11. Braden Davis fires to the slant. Brandon Robinson cutting up the middle. He's got 15 as he tries to reach out for the end zone. Just doesn't have enough extension there. 1st and goal now. Braden Davis is in the shotgun. He's probably going to hand this one off to Lavosa Carroll, who can get into the end zone on the zone. 113 rushing yards for this offense. They have struggled on the ground. The run blocking has not been good at all, but that one brings it back to an 11-point game. Robertson's going to try and run with it on 1st and 10, and he is brought down in the backfield. Rory Patrick, again, his 2nd sack of the day. The defensive lineman getting his first time to shine, and he is showing why he was so highly recruited, as Simeon Price on a 3rd and 15 does everything he can to get a first down, but it's just not enough. And they are going to give the ball back to the Gamecocks right above 6 minutes remain. Braden Davis on 2nd and 10. Fires late to the slant. Corey Rucker bouncing off a man. He's tackled from behind. 14 yards. 5:53 and counting. 35-24 is your score. 1st and 10 for the Gamecocks after that first down. Davis is going to stumble on the play action, and he's sacked. Tripped over Lavosa Carroll and finally got his footing, and he had nowhere to go. So 3rd and 19 now. A very, very critical possession. Davis out of the shotgun. He caught an audible. He's going to play action, fake the run, launch it towards the end zone, and Sampson's got his man beat, and he's into the end zone. 47 yards for the Gamecocks, the 3rd touchdown pass of the day. He's now 3 for 3, Braden Davis. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Not a tight spiral or anything, but he put that one right where it needed to be for Landon Sampson, who, as I said earlier, his role in the offense has expanded every year, and this year we need him to be a very, very good receiver, as Rory Patrick extends the play there and pushes him outside and allows Alex Huntley to get the sack. And now a 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs. They are down or up by 4, and Robertson just barely gets it off. Justin Birdsong, the transfer who had to sit out a year last year, is able to get his hands on it and knock it down. So the Gamecocks respond with a good defensive stop. Now they have great field position on 1st and 10. DJ Long says, why take a lot of time when we can get it right now, as he has a very, very good catch there as he falls out of bounds. And another beautiful pass by Braden Davis. The turnover bug hit him in that 3rd quarter, but he has protected the ball so far as we come down to the final minute on 2nd and goal. Braden Davis is going to give it to Carroll, who has an end zone run, and it's a touchdown. 4 yards out for Carroll, his 2nd touchdown run of the day. Hasn't had a lot of volume, but he has been very successful in his limited runs since Marshawn Lloyd went down, and Simeon Price on a 1st and 10 is going to start the drive with a nice about 7-yard run for the Bulldogs. That's going to set them up on a 2nd and 3 now. Robertson is going to call them back to the hurry up, and they have a 2nd and 3 where they need to convert here. Robertson takes all the time in the world, slings it deep. He's got his man Ra Thomas past the secondary, breaking a tackle and into the end zone. Oh, what a choke job by this defense. Oh my goodness. Ra Thomas got behind the defender, and the Gamecocks trail once again by 4. 42 seconds left. And they need to get going quick on this drive. 2nd and 10. Braden Davis throws it at the last second. Carl Mosley, excellent coverage. That one falls harmlessly to the ground. Now 3rd and 10. Davis, he's going to call a slant route on the audible. Nobody's open, but he fires at the last second, and he's got Ben Williams. All of the receivers and starting tight ends are exhausted, and they are out of the game right now. This time he hits Norris Purcell on the nice catch, 16 yards. We are deep in the depth chart right now, 3rd and 2, 19 seconds for Davis. It's a play action, so he wants to throw. Fires as he plants his feet, and Scott Hall's got it inbounds as he falls forward. His elbows hit out of bounds, but both feet were down. Now 1st and goal. Davis goes to the end zone. Purcell is going to drop that one. That was very close to being the go-ahead touchdown. Now 2nd and goal with 11 seconds left. Davis is going to run it on the right side off the read option. Timeout for the Gamecocks. They've got 1 remaining in 7 seconds. 3rd and goal. Davis is going to run on the right side. Fires to Scott Hall, who gets slung down with 2 seconds left. Unnecessary play action there, in my opinion. Now 4th and goal. Davis runs to his left, stumbles, but he stays on his feet, and he's in. Touchdown. And the Gamecocks walk off game winner touchdown. 44-42. It will be 45-42 as your final once the extra points goes through and they finish the season or start the season on a win. Well, the game ended up being a lot closer than I would have liked, and you'll take a win no matter what, but we had a lot of issues we're going to have to iron out, and we still have some questions on the offensive side of the ball. The final, obviously, 45-42, 26 first downs for us compared to their 6. I mean, they didn't need to have the ball a lot considering they had three very, very short fields. 1 off the interception, 1 off the pick 6, and 1 off of a good punt return. And I mean, we were 11 of 18 on 3rd downs. We were 3 for 3 on 4th downs. We converted and played at our highest level outside of the turnovers. We lost the turnover battle 3-0. Tell me how many times we've seen that in this series. Our time of possession was double theirs. I mean, you do everything that you would like to do, but it's still, we just didn't get the job done like I would have liked. Finished off 45-42, so you can't complain too much, but you would have liked to be a little bit more dominant, not have to throw the ball 47 times with Braden Davis being his first start. 398 yards, though, 3 touchdowns. He also had the 3 interceptions, so questions there. Marshawn Lloyd, he went down early in the 3rd quarter. He will be back, I've heard, but 16 for 58, not a good start. Braden Davis, 12 for 46 on the ground and a touchdown, the game winner. Good on the ground for him. That's the kind of stats I would like to see for him on the ground. Lavosa Carroll, 8 for 27 and 2 touchdowns. Couldn't get anything going as far as longevity goes on the runs, but he was able to get a couple touchdowns in that game, which is still fairly decent. DJ Long, the freshman, is making an impact already. He had 4 for 71. Corey Rucker, 4 for 93. Brandon Robinson, 4 for 61. Scott Hall, 4 for 41 and 2 touchdowns. Landon Sampson, 3 for 63 and a touchdown. And everybody else down here had a couple catches themselves. Defensively, we struggled as always. O'Donnell Fortune led the team with 5 sacks. That's pretty sad. Rory Patrick came out and dominated on the defensive line, though he had 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. Stone Blanton added a sack as well. Alex Huntley with the sack down here, and I believe that was it. We had no turnovers, none of that. Our only kick of the day by Clark, the new kicker, the freshman kicker. He made 1 of 1. Obviously, it was a short one, so nothing too crazy going on there. And as far as recruiting goes in this first week, no crazy news. Obviously, we're not going to have any new commits. It's the first week of the season. But we have a few positions we're going after pretty hard. I'm trying to get a lot of depth on this roster because that's where we need it the most. But our team needs right now, we're going to start out with the tackles. We're going pretty heavily after a few of these guys. Some of them we're not going after at all. Brian Green, a JUCO out of Florida. We're going after Vincent Henry out of Lowell, Michigan. We're going after Eugene Reed out of Louisiana. I was going to say Los Angeles. Out of Clearwater, South Carolina, we're going very heavily after guard Nick Jones. He's a 4-star. Clemson's above us by 85, but I think we should be able to catch up on that ground. If not, we have Jason Gold, who we're going after pretty heavily out of Summerville, South Carolina. Chris Robinson. Austin Long is a running back out of Arizona that I was intrigued in. He's not a really... he's kind of like a jack of all trades. He's not great at one thing, but he can do a lot of things fairly decently. His catching isn't the best, but he does have good route running, which is something that I would value in a running back. We're also going after Ryan Clayton out of Maryland, a 4-star speed running back, which would be very, very important if we were able to get him on the roster. And Bernard Cantrell is going to round out the team needs. As far as other positions go, we are spotting or going after a couple of different positions right now. Kevin Ostrander, a 4-star receiver out of Goose Creek, South Carolina. Blake Tate and Lawrence Smith out of Gant, South Carolina is a guy that I would like to get. Glenn Young out of Missouri is a guy that we're going after the tight end position very hard. I know I say that about a lot of positions, but we need the depth and we need the talent. A 4-star guy like Glenn Young, a 6'4", 247 tight end would be good. TJ Wood out of Brunswick, Georgia. We are down 500 already, but I'm still trying my best to persuade him to come to South Carolina. Same thing with Eric Stone. We are down 400 out of Michigan, unfortunately, but we are trying our best to get him to come over to South Carolina. Hopefully we can just get him to a visit, and that's all I really need to do. The center position, John White, is a guy that I'm scouting very heavily. You know, we did have that guy, but we're down a lot. He's out of Casey, South Carolina, 69 overall, the number 3 center in the class, so that is a very important thing for us to get. Other than that, we have a few more positions. Bobby Sutherland out of Plantation, Florida, 79 overall, 4-star outside linebacker, technically the number 1 outside linebacker in the entire class, so hopefully we're able to get him to come to the roster or come play for us. And we actually ran out of points, so I don't have anybody else scouting, but I do have a lot of guys that I'm going after, and that's where we're going to stand. As far as the recruiting front goes, no commits, nothing like that, obviously, here in week 2, or week 1 for you guys, but we simulated into week 2, and the new look SEC. I'm interested to see how the teams performed, as Oklahoma and Texas would play their first SEC matchups of their entire tenure, and let's see what happened. First off, Texas was going to get a game against Notre Dame, so they were out of conference against their rival number 5 Notre Dame, and they go down 31-26. It looked like it looks to be a close one. Quinn Ewers and company couldn't get the job done all the way. But still a valiant effort against the top-ranked Notre Dame team. And Oklahoma, in their first ever SEC matchup as an SEC member, dominates LSU. 49-17 is the final there, and that is a very, very shocking score. The Tigers struggle to get anything going, but look at that. 5 touchdowns for the Oklahoma Sooners quarterback, Nick Evers, and that is a no-interception game. Their backup, I guess, came in and threw 2 interceptions. The Louisiana State University, LSU, just had an okay game. No turnovers, really, but 2 interceptions. They just couldn't get 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. They just couldn't get the offense going, it appears. And outside of that, the top 25, not a lot of people have matchups, but we do have a few. Utah, in their in-state rivalry game against the Utah State Aggies, they take them down 52-27. Penn State, 51-26 over their rival Temple. Ole Miss takes down Georgia in the upset of the century. The Bulldogs, for the second season in a row, start out 0-1. 31-21 is where the Rebels win there as they jump up to the top 25, number 23 in the country. Michigan takes down Oregon State 31-27. Baylor takes down SMU 42-32. Texas A&M is going to take down Clemson by a big touchdown there in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. 49-35. The 8th-ranked Aggies continue their hot streak. Alabama takes down Wisconsin. They are number 1 in the country, and they continue that in the All-State Kickoff Classic, 48-14. And that would be all for the top 25. As always, next week we will be taking on the 15th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. We always play them early in the season, and it is not going to be any easier than it has been the last 2 years. Last year we won. The year before we lost. Hopefully we can pull off a miracle this year, and imagine the Bulldogs starting out 0-2. That would be very, very crazy to see. Let me know what you guys think about our chances to win this one. Who should we start at quarterback? Should it continue to be Braden Davis? I mean, after all, he won us the game, but he did play not at his highest level, in my opinion. But it would be interesting to see who you guys' opinion or what your guys' opinion is about our starting quarterback position. As always, if you enjoyed this series, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys next episode as we take on the Georgia Bulldogs.